weekdays માં 12 અને weekends માં 1.
તો પબ્લિક આવે છે?
હા આવે.
Really?
જાગતા જ હોય બધા.
कश्यपभाई
जी जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सीताज आसिम जी का बुलाओ।
हाँ तो हाँ, हाँ जी। हाँ कौन मैं फॉलो कर लूंगा।
Okay. Deepakanandji, can you sing?
So,
Okay.
so
दादा भगवान ना सीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान ना असीम 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 जय जयकार हो।
जय सच्चिदानंद। दीपकांत जी
जय सच्चिदानंद।
3 मंत्र बोले प्लीज।
नमो विश्वराय।
नमो
नमो वितरागाय।
नमो हरिदानम।
नमो
નમો હરિહંતાણમ.
नमो सिद्धानम।
नमो
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ.
आर्यवीयानम।
नमो आयव्यानम।
नमो वज्रायानम।
नमो वत्सायानम।
नमो लोहितसहस्रानम।
नमो लोय
लोय साहुरम।
155
सो पंचन मुखारो।
सर्वभावप्रासनो
सर्वभावप्रासनो
मंगलानं चतुर्वेशीं
मंगलारं च सर्वेसिं
परमां मंगलम्।
परमं भवै।
ब्रह्मवहि मंगलम्।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय।
ओम नमः शिवाय।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद। Okay, Mahatma, we've been talking about Vyavasthit Shakti, fearfulness, and doubtfulness, so and separation. So Any experience? Atma, they have doubtfulness all the time or many times, right? So, anybody wants to share?
Yes, I want to share.
Okay, thank you.
Jai Sachidan, everyone. Jai Sachidan, Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji, Sachidanand. Yeah. First, I want to share about the Pratikraman, what I understood. In the pad, there is Pratikraman pad. Can I share that or tell that? How?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. The first two lines, are very good. I found, regarding the Pratikraman. That it says અંદર જે કૂંચે છે તે વાતોનું ખપે છે પ્રતિક્રમણ ભૂલો વિના કોઈ દંડતું નથી શાંત ભાવ કર્મનન. So I understood that, see, and from this, that the bholo, any kind of bholo vina, so which I understood, and which is harassing me from inside, that is needing Pratikraman. So I do the Pratikraman, and it is very, finding very progressing. It will take time, to complete Pratikraman, but it is very good. I feel benefits that the hard feelings towards the others, they decrease. That is the immediate feeling which I get.
Pulinanandji?
And one more thing. So what I understood is that Pratikraman, the vidhi is there's a vidhi, and also there is a Pratikraman state. So Pratikraman means anything which is not normal, we make it normal. That is Pratikraman. So our mistakes, due to our mistakes, what we are in the abnormal. So to come in the, for us, normal is to come in the, separation state. So that is also Pratikraman, So that state, because actually if we see the words, if we go into deeper meaning, they become more broader in range, So this is what I found, that they will encompass everything, when we go deeper in meaning. So, and the vidhi also is very good, which I found. So, which, because it covers all the agnas, actually the vidhi and both the state. So from, because the first two agnas, because the separation we say in the vidhi, and because of we see other as non-karta, so the third agna comes in, and Sambhave Nikal also, if the intention is there. So when we are doing this vidhis, and Dadaji has made such that we are naturally in the agnas, so that is also a very good word which I found. Yeah. Yes, Sachin.
Pulinanandji?
No, you're right. You see, Pratikraman is the backbone for anybody who wants to go to moksha. Whether it is Kramik Marg or Akram Marg, this is the backbone. Because essentially what it means is that our mind, body, speech is a discharge for everybody. And if things that come out by way of thoughts, speech, or actions, which are not in alignment with the goal of go to moksha, then they need correction. That correction is nothing but this Pratikraman, which means repentance and apology. Apologize that you are repenting for the mistake, and then you will resolve not to do it. So because one is the understanding of this birth, and one is the understanding of the previous birth. Based on the understanding and knowledge we had in the previous birth, we have charged or done some vows, which is now playing out. Now, this may not be in alignment with our desire to go to moksha, which is now fructified or has become strong in this birth. So this clash of past discharge and the present knowledge, that conflict has to be resolved by Pratikraman, which is just a reversal of opinion, basically. That I don't agree with the discharge that is taking place by way of thoughts, by way of speech, or by way of action. And this concept of Pratikraman is there in Kramik Marg as well as in the Akram, obviously. And in Kramik Marg, they even do confession in Christianity, So apologizing for mistakes is always there. And for us as Mahatmas, we need to discharge mind, body, speech. And for cleansing out, we need this Pratikraman. So that is the backbone. And when can we know that Pratikraman is fruitful or it has worked well? Is when we feel light from within. When we feel light from within, you must understand that those mistakes have been erased. So that is the benchmark, or that is the test that the Pratikraman are being done properly or not. And then the expansion, as you said, was that anything that we feel disturbed about within, anything we feel is we have been wronged. So there it calls for Pratikraman because it is an effect of someone who wrongs us, hurts us, is an effect of some mistake we have committed. And so if that thing happens, we are wronged. So obviously then we have hurt someone or done some wrong mistake in the past. And if we do that Pratikraman, then it will get cleared away. અંદર જે ખૂચે છે તે વાતોનું કાપે પ્રતિક્રમ. So what is hurting us within is what is under se પૂછે છે. So we must do the Pratikraman because maybe, not maybe, because we have done some mistake in the past. So that's very true. And it's a very scientific way where we apologize for our mistakes in front of God. And so for us, it is Dada Bhagwan and the soul within the other person to whom we have erred. And in front of these two gods, we apologize or we confess our mistakes, apologize, and then resolve not to repeat it. So Dada used to say for a non-Mahatma that you may even apologize to whomsoever you believe in. Whichever God you believe in, you can take his name and apologize with them. One other thing Dada Bhagwan had said was that this is the Kali Yuga. So if the opposite person is straightforward, you may apologize him on the face, that I regret for my mistake. But if a person is not very straight, then you may apologize within, do the Pratikraman at inside. So it will also have the same effect. All your repentances will go and erase the hurt that you have caused. It will erase the hurt from the mind of the opposite person. So in person or in your mind, both techniques are there. In person, if the person is humble, the opposite person is humble, then in person. Otherwise, do it within yourself. That is also equally effective. And that is the only way to resolve all the kachra, if I may say, or all the faults that we have brought, all the shortcomings that we have brought, all the discharge kashais that we have brought. So cleansing out. One is by observing, and other is by Pratikraman. So that is definitely a very useful tool in the process of cleansing the Prakriti. True. Yes.
Yes.
Soham?
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Sarva Mahatma. Pulinanandji, I have a question from what Kashyap ji said. So, અંદર જે ખૂંચે છે તે વાતોનું ખપે છે પ્રતિક્રમણ. That means, in the previous birth, I have made a lot of mistakes, and due to those mistakes, in this birth, Swami is going through from such situations. So, and as a being Shuddhatma, I see what Soham is suffering from. I'm not Soham. So, is it called real Purusharth?
Observing Soham is a Purusharth. Observing Soham from the seat of Prajna, or in the light of Prajna Shakti.
Right.
The light of
Correct.
Prajna Shakti, remaining in the soul, anchored in the soul, and observing Soham is the ultimate thing that we have to do. That's the ultimate thing. And we may be able to remain in that state permanently or on a continuous basis is the Purusharth. We are there, but
Okay.
that going on and off, sometimes we are separate, sometimes we are not separate because of files and other things. So to remain constantly is our end goal.
So, what is the role? Okay. What is the role for Pratikraman in this situation?
See, this question will not be arise. This question will just not arise if you are really an observer.
Right.
Truly speaking, if you are an observer, that you are observing.
Yes. Yeah. So,
If
correct.
you're observer,
Got it.
obviously you
Yeah.
know someone has made a mistake.
Yeah. So, I'm at.
Your goal is
Yes.
defined. Your goal is defined. You want to remain in pure soul Jagrati. Your role is
That's right.
defined. You
Correct.
want to go to moksha.
Yes.
Your role is defined that you want to clear Soham.
Yeah.
So if you're observing Soham and if he is making a mistake,
Yeah.
what will
There
you
is no question. Yes. Got it.
It's like you're watching you're a caretaker of a baby or something, babysitting, as they say, and you're just watching the baby playing, doing this, that. The moment the baby goes to a glass and is going to throw it away, he's making a mistake. You will hold him now. Will you remain and observe? You immediately take corrective action if the baby is making mistake.
Yes. Got it. Completely got it.
So if someone is making a mistake, you're going to catch it. There's no
Yeah. There is no
what will
Pratikraman in this
happen?
situation.
Pragna will force you to break,
To stop
stop
Soham.
it. It'll hold you in your
Yes.
tracks. Pragna will automatically do it. You don't have to do Pratikraman. It will get done.
Correct. Correct.
So,
Correct. Got it. Understood.
so we must really try to see whether we are the observer from the buddhi, intellect, or
Or,
observe with the pragna,
right.
which light you are observing.
Right. Buddhi always shows in favor of Soham.
Then sometimes you see I am observing Soham, but then it is the intellect is observing Soham. There are two lights. One is the intellectual light and one is the prajna light or soul light.
Right.
So being in Soham and then watching Soham through Soham's intellect is one thing. And being in Atma, soul, and then watching Soham through prajna is another thing.
Right.
So,
Understood.
so the role of Pratikraman.
Yeah, there is no question regarding this. Right. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Satsang.
Jai Sachidanand.
Hey, Lalita Ben. Okay, Shaila Ben. Okay, Shaila Ben.
Sorry, I don't have any questions today. I'm listening in. Thank you.
No. We have to ask you. You don't have any doubts anywhere all day. You no fear. We'll ask you. No, you don't have a question. We'll ask you a question. Shaila Ben.
Yeah, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Rajni Dada, Jai Sachidanand Mahatmas.
Jai Sachidanand.
This question is a little, this is not about what we're discussing right now, but there are a couple of after sutras came last week, I think, or maybe the week before that in WhatsApp about happiness. There were a lot of things about happiness, especially when Dada has said that he talked about Nirvikalp Sukh, absolute happiness. What is the meaning of Nirvikalp Sukh, absolute happiness? It requires no effort, not even the effort to choose. It is a happiness that arises effortlessly, naturally, and is self-generated. On the other hand, Vikalpi Sukh involves efforts. And then there was also another one where Dada mentioned, he says, happiness in this world, happiness is not there, but by choosing a positive path, one can find some peace. With the right understanding and knowledge, lasting peace can be achieved. So I'm
What?
trying.
Yeah, carry on, carry on. Let me understand. You finish.
So the two things, there are a lot more on happiness, but these two things, I think, are basically where my question, this is how my question is. Happiness, when he's talking about no happiness is there in this world, is he talking about the lasting happiness? But as we just now mentioned, when we're observing or even when we are trying to stay in the agyas, is there no happiness at all? Don't we get a glimpse of that peace, of that happiness? But then what is Nirvikalp Sukh?
Vikalp meaning I, that
Yeah.
I am so and so. So
Yes.
happiness that is arising, that I am so and so, I am the name bearer, that is Vikalp's happiness.
Okay.
Happiness from the intellect or happiness from the five senses.
Yes.
So that is Vikalp. So, and Nirvikalp is without that. Happiness that arises which is not dependent on the five senses. You know, you're not watching a good movie, not having good food, not wearing good clothes, or not going out. None of the senses are there. You're just by yourself and just as an observer of file number one's Antaskaran, or observer of file number one's what is happening to file number one. That is Nirvikalp happiness.
Oh, yes. That is
Happiness.
what when you're in the observer state, is that the Sukh that he's talking about?
And that can only come when you become an observer. When you become a Shuddhatma, only then you can experience that Nirvikalp. So that we are all, and that we do experience that. Don't you experience? See, first thing is what we'll experience is Nirakurta. Nirakurta means at peace. We remain at peace by whenever we follow any agna, we immediately become at peace. No? What will happen? Oh, file has arisen. You are at peace. How will this happen? Oh, this is how it will happen. You are at peace. Okay? Like that. So that is how it will.
The only thing is it won't last for us because we get that in sometime it'll be there for a short while and then it goes away.
The reason is we still have our inner defilements to remove, or inner kachra to clear up, and files to clear. So what will happen is, first thing is, what we are experiencing right now is absence of unhappiness. Absence of unhappiness, or things will happen which we are not comfortable with, but that becomes okay the moment we apply in any agna. You know? So then we are at peace. We again come back normality.
Yes.
So that is absence of pain or unhappiness. And as we gradually progress, then the inner and all those things reduce, then the happiness of the soul, just by yourself, and happiness will keep coming because you are remaining in the Gnata Drashta state, observer state. So then that will emerge. So we are definitely having a glimpse of that.
Glimpse of happiness. Okay.
The very fact that you are doing vidhis, the very fact that you are attending satsang. Why? Because you're enjoying it. You're getting benefiting.
Yes.
So you are getting happiness. That's why you're doing that.
Yes, definitely.
If it was not giving any benefit to you, you were not getting happiness, you would have stopped this long ago.
Yes.
So the fact that you are attending satsang and doing puja shows that you are getting happiness.
Got it.
Every human being, every living creature seeks happiness and will do that thing which gives him happiness.
Definitely.
And even a small child, if he's jumping on the sofa, or a small child, 2 years old, and he enjoys it. Then from the sofa, he'll jump down again, go up. Why? Because he'll repeat that thing.
Yes, definitely.
Even we will repeat. Even if he didn't have Gnan, we would be repeating what we enjoyed. If you enjoyed, for example, if someone enjoyed cooking, they will do good amount of research, make dishes. Someone enjoys reading. novel, for example. Then he will keep reading. Ah, I enjoy it. Now, those are all vikalps. Now, by way of Mahatmas, we don't enjoy the external things so much as this satsang and spiritual this thing. So we'll keep on going back to that one day. You finish off your files, you finish off your vyavahar, and again come back to it. So
True.
the fact that you have tasted that happiness of the pure soul, nirvikalp samadhi, as you said, in the Gnan Vidhi, and then it has been enhanced or is being enhanced with the help of the satsangs. In satsang, nothing happens. You only get more and more things to understand. Basically, you get more things to understand. And you get more things to apply, more information or knowledge to handle tricky situations, handle tricky people. So that is something which is giving you happiness.
Yes.
And if it's giving you happiness, you are continuing with it. So glimpse to all of us of that. Now we are trying to enhance that happiness. Then what will happen is, so it's not always that we have a problem and we solve the problem with Gnan, we are happy. We may not have a problem and still we try to be happy. So happiness, so we have glimpse and we are trying to increase that happiness, the duration of that happiness.
Lasting happiness. Okay. Yes, got it. Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Kashyap bhai?
Yes, Jai Sachin, I want to ask two questions. Can I ask?
Sure.
Yeah, one is that the file one, I want to know what is the importance of the file one over the other files.
What is the importance?
Yeah, means I know a little bit, but please expand that. What is the importance of dealing with the file one over dealing with the other files?
See,
This much I understand that because of file one, other files are there, but more little bit, please explain.
that's perfect. That's perfect. What you have understood is perfect. You see, essentially, file one is the covering on the soul that is within us. That is the closest and the nearest covering on us. You see, and now because of that covering, we have to get rid of that covering. Now it is only not one covering, but it has also brought associations, karmic associations with other files. File number 2, 3, 4. It has brought, I want a wife, I want a child, I want parents, I want job, I want neighbor, I want this, I want that. So we have got karmic associations with other files. So now, until those karmic associations are not equanimously squared up, unless those karmic associations are not squared up, file number 1 will not be cleared. So that's why that file and Sambhave Nikal, fourth Agna comes. So as you start clearing the external things, the claims of others on you will diminish. And once claims on file number 1 will diminish. And then file that much is cleared, then remains only the file number 1's discharge, moha, discharge, attachment, detach, abhorrence. Only that needs to be cleared. So then we have to work on clearing of that part of it. What is it that still makes me engrossed in file number 1? I am pure soul, but what is it that still brings me back into that? So those are the files which of file number 1 or the attachment and abhorrent discharge, kashaya, discharge, moha file. So then we have to clear those things. I tell you, external files are not so much of a irritant as much as the issues or the knots having within us. If I have man in me, then insult will have a big impact on you. But if the man kasha in me, the pride kasha in me is reduced or diminished, then any insults will not have an effect on me. If I don't have so much of lobh, if I don't have so much of greed kasha, then if I lose something, if there's a loss, monetary loss, then it will not impact me as much if I have greed. Okay, 10 rupees are lost, that 10 rupees will hurt. But if the greed is not there, never mind that. Gone is gone, receive. Even 1,000 rupees goes away, he'll not bother. So essentially, the external situations will bother us to the extent we have these inner enemies, anger, pride, deceit, and greed. So those are the things which will impact, create an impact on us. Hence is the importance of file number 1 or cleansing file number 1. Dada Bhagwan very clearly said that what are these body atoms? Atoms with which the body is composed or made up of. The atoms are saying that although you may have become Shuddhatma by Dada Bhagwan's Akram Vignan, you means I, the one with wrong belief, has become the right belief that I am pure soul. So although you may have become Shuddhatma, but you may have to clear us. The atoms of the mind, body, spirit are saying you have to clear us or cleanse us, because we were previously in a very pure form. Pure form in the sense Vishwasra Parmanu, the pure form, unmagnetized Parmanus. But you have made bhav, magnetized us, made us pure, impure. So you have made us impure, now you must clear us. That's what the Bhagwan. So clearing means observing them, see the effect that comes to us, and then let it go. Effect comes to us, let it go. Effect comes to us, let it go. So that by observing, remaining in the observed state is the way to clear out, cleanse the charged Paramahanus made up in the mind, body, speech. So that is the ultimate question. That is the
That is the file 1 is the central thing, so central while dealing with other files, internal and external. So the file 1 is always in focus or in vision, right? Yeah, this I got. Okay. Second question I want is that the difference between, say, for example, I eat a sweet, rasgulla or something, and I remember that, and then remembering, okay. And second is that I have a desire, ichha, and third is I have a craving, lutpanu, that is, if I understood, lutpanu means craving. So, is it correct? Remembering, desire, and craving. So, please give the difference between these three.
You see, whenever we eat something nice and we enjoy it, so the natural tendency is to have more for it. So we remember, oh, that day, yeah, that rasgulla was very nice, from which shop you brought it? And then we ask, oh, you brought it from that shop. Okay, fine. So then you're remembering that you would like to have this again. એટલે, to remember to have it again is luptapanu, Fari yaad aao. You keep remembering, oh, and if you have had a nice dish with somebody, when you are as a guest to somebody's house and he has prepared a nice dish, and then you say, Hare, next time when you are invited and I ask what to make, you say, oh, make that dish. That was very nice. So that is remembering, that is luptapanu.
And ichha?
Ichha or craving to have something, right? I mean, I have not gone to anyone's house. I'm under normal circumstances and all. And at times, from within, you feel like eating something. That it could be something sweet, it could be something chili, it could be fried, whatever. That is what happens on its own. That is the activation. That is the activation of the inner Parmanus, which all of us have brought. So that those Parmanus get activated and we have the desire that I want to eat this, I want to eat this, I want to eat this. And the rule is that whenever such a thing happens, automatically whatever you desire to eat, that will come in front of you in a few days. If it's a really strong casual desire. Inside Parmanus, when they're activated, external Parmanus they automatically come, and then that is fulfilled. So, and Dada Bhagwan has brought out this science very, very well, very, very well. He said, and he, out of his own examples of, he wanted to eat, what is that thing called? That black thing, black shell and the white inside. So he had the desire to eat that. And automatically one day, while going from his house to someone's house, he normally would take one road. That day he took a different road. And then he met with that lady selling that thing. And he ate it. So then he felt that because those inner Parmanus were activated, it led me to a place where those were available, and I ate it. Similar thing had happened while he was traveling the train, and that lady came, vendor who sells that stuff in the train. So, and I have also observed it myself that whenever anything of that type happens, it automatically comes in my plate. So now this is the science of inner Parmanus, as we call Icha, and the external fulfillment by way of Devasthit,
So,
So,
Icha, little bit more clarification. Icha means a desire a thought will arise in me. I remember something. A thought arise in me that I want this gula, for example. Then Icha means then I make some efforts to or either I make efforts or I ignore that thought. So that is so where is what is called the desire and the just remembering, from the beginning, if I am.
remembering is a strong remembrance. Oh, that pani puri was great. That pizza was great. That dhokla was great. Whatever. We keep remembering that was so great. What a nice dish she prepared. That Dada Bhagwan said, don't do it. Whenever you go, you like something, you enjoyed it, you relish it, and then forget it.
So in Icha, we forget the things, where
No, in Icha, what we can do is just remain an observer. Observe that such and such Icha, such and such desire is popping up. Just remain an observer. Automatically, either you may have to do that effort or the things will come to you.
As I understood, it casual thought. There's one thing is a casual thought. Second is there is a more strong thought, and with a tendency to fulfill that thought, that is called Icha. That is also called Icha, a Pragat Agni, because it is a very strong thing. That's not just a casual thought. And then when we get engrossed into that, that is called Lupanu. Is this correct?
No.
Then?
No. That is not Lubdapanu. Icha, what you said, the first half is right. A strong thought, a strong desire, that is true. Lubdapanu is after having eaten something, then remembering it that I want to have that, I want to have that, I want to have that later on, after finishing the eating and all that. Olu bahut saras hoto, olu bahut saras hoto, ye bahut acha tha, bahut acha tha. That is Lubdapanu.
After enjoying that, still we want more, that. Right?
After finishing that, the next day, after 2-3 days, after 1 week, whatever the duration, remembering, oh, that was nice. And then when someone asks, oh, make that remembering is Luptapono, because that will induce you to go over there, and that will make you Tanmayakari Prakriti. So that much of, Jagrati will go there in Prakriti rather than in Atma. So the answer is that to remove Labdapano and to manage the desires as far as food goes, because this is a science of atoms. So here we can say, having known this science, and you can try it out also. You can try it out on your own self, observe any strong desires and see that automatically things will come to you. And then you will get convinced about this science. So the answer to erase Lupdapanu, the answer to erase or overcome Lupdapanu, or to manage Lupdapanu to begin with, and then gradually we will be able to overcome, and then we will remain in observer status, is awareness and experience. Awareness and experience that this science of atoms, that whatever inner atoms arise externally, they are fulfilled. As we experience that, then what will happen, any ichha that you have, any desire that you have to eat something, don't even have to do anything. Now it is nature's problem to fulfill it. Because the science says inner atoms, whatever they get activated, will get fulfilled externally. So you don't have to go after it. Atoms will come to you and it will get spread off. So having known this, you can just sit back and keep observing the ichha and see how it is getting fulfilled. That's all. Only thing we have to remember that we don't go overboard when we eat those things. In the sense, we have to eat it in moderation. That's the only thing.
So when we observing, and then the normality which you told just now, that normality observing and the normality that is the observing whether it's normal or not or normal, and then slowly it will, by observing, it will come, and where the corrective actions will happen, and it will come normal. And the continuity usually is not normal. In some cases it be normal, the continuity, say I have, can it be said like that, because of the Parmanus, I am remembering the craving is coming after that, after even eating that, because the Parmanus are still there. Can it be said like that?
Yes.
Or not?
Yes. Whenever there is intense
audio?
Whenever there is a craving or a strong craving, that means those Parmanus are still there within. And they are, yes. Strong
But
craving.
we should keep in mind that is not normal thing, right?
No, what we have to do is, we have to strike a balance. We have to strike a balance. When the intensity is so high, so then you must give it a little bit, but not the whole hog. Now, one example, which is of Dada Bhagwan's one example was that he says when breakfast tray comes in the morning, then there is a nice prepared means the hotly prepared meal. And also mathya is there. Mathya is, that fried stuff, which is semi-sweet and all that. So now here is strong craving, the mind for mathyas. But those are not very healthy at that age, to eat fried stuff. So what Dada Bhagwan would do is that if there is a very strong craving for mathyas, mind is asking, the thoughts are coming consciously. So if you desire 5 mathyas, then I would give it 2 mathyas or 3 mathyas. And it will silence the mind. It will satisfy the mind that I have got what I wanted to eat. At the same time, it will also take care of the health, that it will not have any adverse effect. So partially we have to fulfill it, but in a balanced manner where it does not have any other adverse effect on the health or adverse effect on the Jagrati. So that is the, and you see, it's very wonderful. He says, okay, I will give you 2 mathyas now, or whatever, in our case, whatever you wanted. Next, I will give you next week. Just tell the mind, I will give you next week. Not necessarily that you have to give it next week, but it will stop the, it will stop the chatter of the mind that give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. The chatter of the mind will stop. Okay, I've got this one, now next one. Okay, fine. So that will stop. You will have a satisfaction. The mind is satisfied. I've got what I was craving for. The body also taken care of. It does not have any bad effects of overeating or something. And then Jagrati remains, and then it's cleared up. Then again, maybe in future. The future may be after 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, 20 days, whatever. Again, that craving is there. Again, give it later. So we have to satisfy that craving. We have to satisfy that inner Parmanus in installments. The crux and the key is we satisfy it in small installments, so that our Jagrati is also not harmed, as well as the Parmanus are also satisfied. That is the key, where we strike a balance between inner demand and the wisdom. That is what Dada Bhagwan has done. And he said this is the way forward. Because you can't even stop it, put a full brakes on it, as well as not even fully satisfy it at one go, but do it in installments. That is the key. That is it.
Got it. Thank you. Yes.
Hey, Sachidanand. Lita Ben, did you find anything of your Lita Ben?
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji and Mahatmas. Pulinanandji, I was reading where Dada was explaining Dvait and Advait to Dr. Radhe. It's been printed in Hindi, and Dada was explaining that, by relative viewpoint, it's Dvait, and by real viewpoint, it's Advait, and people have really not understood that, and that it should be Dvait Advait and not separate. It's on the basement of Dvait that Advait exists. Or it's on the basement of Dvait that there is Advait. They're not separate. But I was also reading, and Dada made a very, very subtle point that just, what he said was, he says, when you're eating, your chit is on the food, that is Dvait. And, that really one cannot be in Advait constantly, probably in the last 10 to 15 years of one's life that one can be in Atma. Because as long as you have this body, you have Vyavhar. And because you have Vyavhar, your attention goes to that. So that's been playing on my mind for the last few days. I just wanted to ask you about that. Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji.
Okay, Deepakanandji, you heard? Yeah, you want to respond? Unmute. Unmute.
Yeah, okay now, okay. Jai Sachidanand. See, the fact that once any vyavhar, any relative dealing is there, then it is obvious that you have to focus on the relative. So that's why that Advait state comes to a lower level. As Dada Bhagwan used to say, that when nobody is there, when there is no file, then he is one with, that means he is in the Supreme Godhood state, Paramatma state. But when someone asks questions, then from his highest level, he has to come down to the person's level and deal with him. Of course, it is part of his file as towards his responsibility or commitment for welfare of the world. But he said that we have to come down from that elevated absolute state to the lower level, at the level of the person, and clarify his doubt. So that is there. So until there is Dvaita, that Advait state cannot reach its perfection to the highest level. Yes. But it reaches, or it can reach to the state of perfect observation, perception, which was Dada. That was his Keval Darshan. Do you understand that? Perfected this in so many births. And although he's given it to... Come again? What is perfected? No, but the doctor, the idea what he told us, I was in the traditional path of self-denial and penance. Okay. But you are not on that path. You are blessed with this direct realization, direct grace of God. So your state is as good as mine. The only difference is because of the unsettled files, that obstruction and cloud is there, due to which you are not able to experience, and you have yet to handle and clear these files, which I have cleared. And that the presence of file is by virtue of its stickiness, not the presence of the file itself. Dada says there are so many files. I have all Mahatmas are my files.
Exactly.
And his files are much more than us. But the problem is we have lesser files, but we have that stickiness. And due to that stickiness, that it blurs our perception.
But it's there.
You understand that?
Okay.
Huh?
It's there in the substrate.
And one more thing. What is there?
I mean, that awareness is there in the substrate. I mean, underneath everything.
Okay. I will clarify that. What Dada has said, your perception is not active as mine. In the sense, he remains in Nata Drashta state. And we have to yet to clarify and get away with our stickiness, due to which our state is of perception, that is vision state. In the sense, Drashtabhav. So we are something, जो हम देखना बोलते हैं ना, to see means to differentiate between the relative and real and understand that what is real and what is relative with its total clarity. We have yet to do that exercise, which he has already done and has reached the state of Nata Drashta Sabhav. We are not in that Sabhav. That's why he has said, you have entered the the perimeter of pure soul, at the gate of the pure soul. You're not inside.
Okay.
But you will experience the separateness, and you will do the right effort of cleansing your karma in its totality. But because in today's time of Kali Yuga, this cleansing doesn't happen 100%. By putting all your effort, you'll be able to do 10%. And if you don't do anything, it will be 2%. Just to quantify and understand, he has given these empirical values like. So, factor of Pratikraman, that is confession and apologizing and correction, remains till the end, till the last birth. Because of the mind, speech, body, cleansing is yet to be done, which other person can easily detect and say that, hey, that's how you got affected. But for Dada, it was not possible. It was not there at all. That's why he said all our gross and subtle mistakes are totally eradicated. What remains is subtler and subtler. It doesn't bother anyone, but it hampers to reach the state of absoluteness, that Keval Gyan. Hello? Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I have to mull over that
so
now.
It's like we are in making of Keval Gyan, absoluteness, and he had reached that state of Keval Gyan, but because of time limit, he said, I mean, it was his greatest humility and modesty that he said that I am in a state of Keval Darshan, that is absolute perception. Although he had touched, because he is in the state of Nata Drashta Swabhav, and we are in a state of separation, that is not even absolute perception. Although he has given absolute perception, but that absolute perception remains by the fact that we have the doubtlessness of our state, that I am pure with total conviction and decision.
So he is in Swabhav
that
and
is out
where
of place, but we are in a state of Purusharth, that is effort to see and differentiate the relative, the real from the relative.
Okay.
And that's why that factor of Pratikraman is also there, because so many mistakes other people can find out, can detect, and pinpoint, hey, you did this wrong, like that. That pleasantness, that cheerfulness doesn't remain with us all the time. When nothing is there, then we remain cheerful. The moment the file comes, then the cheerfulness goes away. That's what we can experience. We do experience that very distinctly.
Yes, it's one
Right?
long, this life is one long Pratikraman. It's just
But
only
that's
Pratikraman.
not a big deal. That's not, and that's not a botheration also. The reason is we are not
but
able.
the key to liberation.
Till what is the thing? It's like, the Pratikraman is not a burden. Pratikraman is to follow the path of the absolute, which we have
Yes.
never followed, So our instincts take us on the negative side, and with our effort, we have to go to the positive side. It means that. So that continuous effort is continuous Pratikraman against the negative.
Okay.
That is against, we got it.
Yes,
So
I mean,
I'll just quickly say that to follow the road and reach your destination is you are continuously doing Pratikraman because you are following the road. You are not following your mind. Do you understand how we
yes.
follow the road? If the case of diversion comes, then you follow the diversion. So it's like you don't want to do that. So to follow the road, you will have to do continuous correction. Then only you will remain on the road. Correct?
Yes. Thank you for the clarification. That was very helpful. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji, you want to add something?
No, it's all right. See, it's very clear. Pure Advait, pure Advait. Pure Advait exists only in Siddh Shila, or maybe when you are near to, or in Keval Gram, you see. So, what is Dvait? Dvait is having duality. Dvait means duality of Ragdvesh. Now, that is there in the Prakriti. So where are we? We are Dvaita Dvait. Dada says, I'm Dvaita Dvait. Because when there is no, I'm in Dvait, Advait. When there is no fire, I'm in Advait, pure soul. And when there is fire, then I come back in the Prakriti. So we are Dvaita Dvait. The interim government, the interim I is Dvaita Dvait. And to remain pure Advait is only after Keval Gnan or when you go to moksha.
Okay.
Till that time, everybody will be Dvaita Dvait. Not that people say we are Advait, but only after your self-realization will you become separate and will become Dvaita Advait. Till then, you are in Dvait only. For a he is in Dvait, no doubt about it. He is talking of being in Advait, but that will only happen when he becomes separate. So that is why he said that we are in Dvaita Dvait, that partially in Dvait, partially in Advait. And then we go towards Advait.
No, his explanation was just really blew me out, because what is out there in the world, Dada says nobody has understood it. They've just not understood it, and they're just giving all this wrong information, But then he says, "Bechara wo kya karega," on top of that.
Because he said people give big talks of Advait, but you can't remain in Advait unless you become self-realization. So you are in Advait. What says it? Dvait, the concept of Dvait exists because you are in Advait. Or because in Advait that the concept of Dvait exists, So people only talk of it, but unless you are out, you are always in Dvait, duality.
Yes.
But it's as simple as that.
Deepakanandji?
Yes. I mean, it's very nicely said. The world is in duality. That is Dvaita state because they have not known, understood, recognized, realized Advaita. That is non-dual state. So the world is in duality only. The self-realized ones are in dual, non-dual state, Dvaita, Advaita state. And Dada Bhagwan and Tirthankara Paramatma, because Dada Bhagwan was nearly the state of Tirthankara, he is in the non-dual state, in principle. But while he deals with people, he has to come down. That's why he said that. And the world as such is Dvaita Dvait. What it means that Advaita is there inside, but it is passive. And they are in the duality state, Dvaita state. Whereas Mahatma, non-dual state is active, but with duality, that is with Dvaita.
Yes.
Did you understand? I mean, it's a wonderful clarification what Dada Bhagwan has given.
Yes, I mean it was. That's what it was. Just and when he keeps asking both of us. You understood. This is for 40 years ago,
Yeah.
and yes, and really we didn't understand it. At
We
least
can
I
say
did.
what grace beyond explanation.
Yes.
And let me tell you, because he has revealed this fact somewhere, we are able to give an explanation. Otherwise, it's not possible.
No. It's a gem, that explanation.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand.
Okay.
Kashyapa, you to say
Jai
something?
Sachidanand.
Yes, Jai Satya. Just I want to say to Lalita Ben, if it's possible to send that literature, or if audio is also there, I would like to send it.
I think Rajni Bhai has that. He can send it to you. I don't have your number.
Yeah, you can send to Rajni ji, and he can send to.
Let Rajni Bhai put in the program in our in our message.
That is,
so it will be available to all.
Yeah, that is the.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can send it to me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Our time is up. Pulinanandji, can you do 3 mantra, please?
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Yantanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajayanam.
Namo
Namo Loye Sahunam.
Namo
Eso Padmam Havai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Shivaya.
Om Namo Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Soham Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Lata Ben, Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai